Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Mind. In our last episode, we explored why women fall for emotionally unavailable men and how mystery, distance, and inconsistency can trap the mind into addiction. But today, we're taking a more intimate turn. We're going deep into the psychology of emotional bonding, because love isn't built through time alone. It's built through vulnerability. And when you understand how women connect emotionally, you'll see that true love isn't about constant communication, it's about emotional safety. Let's start with a truth few people realize. A woman doesn't fall in love through her eyes, she falls in love through her emotions. Her attraction begins when she feels understood, when she senses that she can open up, express herself freely, and still be accepted, not judged, not dismissed. That emotional safety is the foundation of connection. It's not the gifts, it's not the looks, it's not the words, it's the energy of being seen. When she tells you about her fears, her insecurities, her past, and you listen with empathy rather than trying to fix her brain releases oxytocin, the same hormone that creates maternal bonding. That's how deep connection begins. But here's where many men get it wrong. They confuse emotional bonding with constant attention. They think being available 24/7, replying instantly, and saying I love you repeatedly builds connection. But for women, real bonding comes from emotional consistency. Not too much, not too little. Just the calm assurance that you'll be there, not to solve everything, but to hold space. Because in her world, vulnerability is risky. Every time she opens up, she risks rejection. Every time she expresses emotion, she fears being too much. So when a man creates an atmosphere where she can be honest, raw, even messy, without judgment, it becomes unforgettable. Let's break this down psychologically. When a woman shares something vulnerable, maybe her fear of abandonment, her past heartbreak, or her hidden insecurities, and you respond with empathy, her nervous system relaxes, her body literally registers safety. Her mind starts to associate you with calm. And slowly, she stops performing and starts being. That's how trust forms. But here's something deeper. Emotional bonding is not always about comfort. Sometimes, it's built through shared vulnerability. When you open up to not as a weakness, but as honesty, it triggers mutual trust. When you tell her about your struggles, your failures, your dreams, or your past in a way that shows self-awareness, you invite her into your inner world. That's intimacy. That's where love becomes emotional, not just physical. Because vulnerability isn't about crying or confessing everything. It's about authenticity. It's saying, I'm not perfect, but I'm real. And that realness is what women crave most. Now let's talk about emotional reciprocity. Every woman subconsciously measures a man's emotional depth through how he reacts when she's vulnerable. Does he listen, or does he interrupt? Does he minimize her emotions, or does he acknowledge them? Does he change the subject, or does he sit in silence and let her express? Those small reactions tell her whether you're safe or not. Because emotional safety isn't about words, it's about presence. It's the calm look in your eyes that says, you can be yourself here. It's the tone that says, I'm not leaving when things get heavy. That's when her defense is lower, and she bonds deeply. But what happens when that emotional bond is broken? When she shares something painful and gets dismissed, mocked, or ignored, her brain registers danger. The same way it would if she touched fire. Her body remembers the pain, and she shuts down emotionally. This is why women often seem to lose interest after an argument, not because they stop caring, but because they no longer feel safe. And rebuilding that safety takes time, consistent reassurance, honesty, and patience. Because once emotional safety is lost, attraction alone can't fix it. Let's go deeper. There's a powerful truth in female psychology. Women bond through shared emotional rhythm. When a man matches her emotional energy, not mimicking, but empathizing, she feels understood at a subconscious level. If she's excited, and you celebrate with her. If she's sad, and you slow down with her. If she's angry, and you hold your composure but still validate her emotion, her nervous system syncs with yours. That's not just love, that's neurochemistry. That's what people mean when they say, we just vibe. Here's something else most people never talk about. Women don't bond through perfection, they bond through presence. It's not the man who says all the right words that wins her heart, it's the one who shows up even when things are uncomfortable. It's the man who stays calm when she's emotional. Who doesn't try to dominate her feelings, but also doesn't get lost in them. Who lets her feel, but gently leads her back to peace. That's emotional leadership. That's what creates admiration, not control, but steadiness. Now, let's flip the perspective. When a woman feels emotionally connected, her entire behavior changes. She becomes more affectionate, more expressive, more open sexually, and more loyal. Because for her, emotional intimacy and physical intimacy are deeply linked. That's why she needs to feel before she fully gives herself. That's why arguments or emotional distance can instantly lower attraction because, to her, love isn't about words. It's about emotional harmony. When that harmony exists, she'll give everything: loyalty, energy, peace, and respect. But when that safety breaks, even the strongest woman becomes guarded. So, if you want to build a connection that lasts, forget the games, the tactics, the pretending to be cold. Focus on understanding. Learn how to listen. Be the calm in her storm, because real masculinity isn't about dominance, it's about stability. And real connection isn't built on perfection, it's built on vulnerability. When you give her the emotional space to be seen, she'll give you the emotional depth that no surface-level woman can match. That's when love becomes spiritual. Thanks for watching Behind the Mind. If this episode opened your eyes, make sure to hit that like button, drop your thoughts below, and subscribe, because next time, we'll go even deeper into the psychology of masculine energy and why emotional control is the most attractive trait a man can ever develop. Stay curious, stay calm, and keep going behind the mind.